Hello, this is me, and this is my best friend. And this is me and my best friend. We decided it would be fun to buy this Civic together and race it in a 24-hour race or something like that with a bunch of other friends. And here's how that's going.
Hello, we just bought this car, 1997 Honda Civic hatchback, and 950 bucks, and we're gonna do the 24 hours of DeRoche with it. The limit was $1,000, and well, this is what we got. It's actually in really great condition. It's got brand new tires. The engine bay's got new parts, new radiator, new shit. The interior is in good shape. Everything's like pretty minty. We might have paid a little much, but I think at the end of the day, we should be able to sell it for the same amount that we purchased it. But anyways, we just bought this. Let's see if it makes it home.
As you can see, the first thing apparently wrong was this bumper. It had gotten hit at some point in time. While I got to work on that, Connor got to work gutting the interior. While he was working on that, I got to work bashing the front bumper. I'd say we both did a pretty good job. Here's the interior after Connor was done, and here's a couple of shots of the bumper. I'd say for a quick fix, that looks 10 times better than it did before. Now, with some cosmetic stuff out of the way and the interior ready for what was next to come, I took it home and got working on making it safe to race, or as safe as I needed it to be to race. Hello, welcome to Gib Garage, and this is my 1997 Honda Civic Hatch. And my best friend. Me and my best friend own it. But yeah, as you can see here, it's been in a fender bender. We've got an interior and I'm putting a roll cage in. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, is going to be getting the roll cage finished, or at least mocked up in here. But for now, since I live in a wonderful rainy climate, you can see my makeshift moisture control. I'm going to start it up, let it warm up. Crack the window open, heat on. Yeah, so the heat crank in this thing for a bit. It has about 224,000 kilometers on it. The engine actually sounds amazing. The only thing is when the clutch is out, when the clutch is in, when you engage the clutch and it's open, the throwout bearing, you can hear it's starting to, it's kind of gone. But other than that, she's a good little car. The original plan for this one was to rally it at a friend's house, but well, COVID happened, and so, or COVID got worse. We were like, we could still do it, you know, before everything went on the first lockdown, and then the first lockdown happened, and then we didn't do it, and then we started working on it again. That's why there's like the plates and stuff there. Then the second lockdown happened, and I've just left it ever since. And I also screwed up on it, bending the metal because I don't have quite the right stuff to do it. So I got frustrated and left it. So now I guess I'll just show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a piece of metal and test it, see if I can. But first of all, I've got to clean up this mess. It's pretty messy in here. So I'll get back when it is cleaned up. So a bit while later, 2 seconds for you, but she's all cleaned up. I got the bender there. It's an exhaust bender, but yeah, as you can see, it did a little bend okay. And then when I tried to do a bigger bend on the pipe, it chewed in a little bit, it punched it out, it kinked it really bad. And didn't turn out good, and then I was upset and I just didn't touch it for a while. I'm gonna cut this piece off, try to bend it again like here just as a test, right here. And then if I can do that, try to make a bend in there, see if I can get it to bend. And if I can get it to bend nicely, then I'll be happy and I can start actually bending up the piece. I got too overzealous over there. That's just what happens sometimes. But see, I'll get this cut and set up and see if I can get it bent. Always got your ear protection. It's the next day. I was late. I stopped, and now it's late again. I don't know what I'm doing, but I got one bend out. So the first time I attempted it, that happened. Not very strong, not very satisfactory. The second time, however, I got this bend out. So it does a little crimping here, but it's definitely a lot stronger than this. And for what I'm going to do with the car, because I'm not going to drag race it, it should be fine. This is my test piece. Well, this is not really my test piece. This was going to be another piece. I was going to do a sweet crossbar on it, and it was going to be super cool and badass, but now I can't do that. I guess one thing I learned is that I have some rim slip, and so I use the rim slip on here and on the metal so that it just helped it glide, and it seemed to help. I didn't know that was something you were supposed to do, but now I know for the future as well. And the other thing was I had the pressure too low, and so it wouldn't kind of clamp down on it enough. And I think there is a perfect pressure to make it not kind of crimp like this in there. You see that crimping? Maybe, but I'm just not good enough at all that to know where everything is. I don't do this. This is just a hobby for me. Something. Oh, flipping out. Woo. So I'm gonna take some measurements now before it gets too dark. Ooh, my camera getting wet. I'm gonna take some measurements now before it gets too dark, and I'll make the first couple bends, and then I'll come back and show you my progress once I've done the main hoop. So this was my drawing, right? I've got this all finished. I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I think I did a good job. It looks a little tall, but that's just because the car. I haven't tested fitting it in there yet. I'm about to go do that. I've learned a lot doing this. This has been like, oh my god. If this fits first try like this, like I feel like I did a great job. I really did. If it's too tall, that's like the best problem I can have, if any, but I really think that I'll be able to fit this in there. No problem. Because I just have that confidence, man. I got the confidence. I did it. I think I did it. Ooh, let's go see if it fits. It's wet in there, so I'm gonna turn the camera off, bring it inside and all the lights, and then bring this inside. The next challenge is getting this thing inside. Oh man, it's raining really bad. Whoops. Oh, everything's a mess. My hair's a mess. Getting it all black. Okay, it's too tall. Oh my god, guys. I'm amazed. I should change my hat before I get it destroyed. I did it. I'm gonna move it to a neutral background, or I don't know. I'll just show you here. I did the main hoop and I got the cross piece in. I've got to still make sure it's level, like or square. I want to make sure the cross piece is square with there, so I can make measurements and adjust it and tack it on. But oh my god. Also, if you're wondering how I did this, it's not welded. I made this a little bit bigger than this and just squeezed it in there. And this has got this awesome, called a fish mouth. And that's because of this tool right here. You take the pipe, you put it in there, and then this, the pipe sits in there like that, right here. And you're supposed to tighten it down to something, but I just put the pipe in a vise. And you whoop, drill the hole. You make sure this is the same size as your pipe and your tube, and you just drill in it, and it makes this fish mouth shape to fit perfectly around the pipe, and it is so awesome. It's so cool, and it's the strongest way to do it once you weld this in. Oh, so awesome. I just think it's so cool. So right now I'm going to go tack the main cage in, tack it in place, and then I'm gonna make my measurements for the bars that go, you know, I'll show you here what I'm, so there's gonna have to be bars that are here and here that go to the back of the car, so they'll kind of be on an angle like that. And I'm gonna try to make it the same shape as the A-pillar, so it might come out and go down like that, so that I'll see if I can fit the seats back in their car, because right now they're sitting outside and it's wet and they're getting moldy, so I've got to like vacuum that up and pop them back in. But going good. But I'll show you when I'm done tacking and what it looks like in there. This is so cool. I've never done anything like this. Woo. So here you can see, this is my dad doing some test welds with some spare material that we had. Since we're not certified welders or anything, we just kind of test that out until we get it right for a good weld on the metal. If you wanted to see how this works, this goes in there, it's hot, take some cutting fluid, make sure there's always some cutting fluid, and then you start going, although I gotta keep putting the cutting fluid on so it doesn't wear out the bit, so I can't show you, but that's how it works. I think I have done it. It took me 2 days of, not full days, but just 2 days of working on it. It's about 8 o'clock, and this here is the finished product. I might put a beam across because I have one more piece extra left over, and that was my original plan anyways. But the welds, they're welded. They're not pretty, but they're welded. Those especially aren't pretty, but they're welded. Those are a bit prettier. I didn't do those. And yeah, this isn't going anywhere, and this is going to make the car like so much more rigid like that. That's not going anywhere. That's freaking awesome. Sweet. That's about it. That's first Civic mod. I guess second Civic mod. I have a racing seat. I put that in there. I built the thing, but I didn't record that. I had to modify one of the mounts. But let's see. But I did my first Civic mod, and it was fun. And now I want to do more. So I've been keeping a price list on the Civic, and I'll see how much money goes into it. Split it with my other friend Connor, who owns the other half of this car. This is cool. Have a good have a spooky Christmas evening. Bye bye.